Okay, okay. You saw Ashley's great animation art there, beginning chapter 2 here with, she's got the whole world by the balls. And I wanted to just speak a little bit on that for a second here. Hopefully most of you found humor with this. But there was a point in time in history, Ed would know that the two countries that were fighting, but I remember my 7th grade English lit teacher telling us that these two countries were at war. And with all the wisdom, the women on both sides of these conflicting armies, they got together and they came up with an idea called boycotting sex. Well, the war ended in 4 days. Now, if you don't think she's got the whole world by the balls, well, okay, all right. Okay, where to pick up for Chapter 2? Chapter 2 of Dr. Chamoy presents short stories from egos and assholes. We talked about in Chapter 1 when Chamoy was running down the road and, he borrowed that driver's education car and he got a little nuts. There were things that happened there and he was adjudicated of it. But I got to tell you, as the Rolodex of time takes us, we're in 1969. Sure. And Chamoy ran into a problem again. This time, he was stuck in a state hospital. Can you imagine that? There were charges pending. And I'll never forget this. The doctor there says, you have a tremendous aptitude. He said, for mathematics, for numbers. He said, if I were to tell the courts that you were sick at the time, would you go back to school for, let's say, accounting or engineering? And Chamoy looked at the doctor and said, gee, Doc, can I think about it overnight? And he said, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow got there, and this was really the first time that Dr. Chamoy ever really wrote anything. Down the road, his English teacher gave him an A for the composition, but the doctor got a little pissed off. When I finally got back with the doctor the next day, he asked me if I made a decision on his offer. And I handed him a sheet of paper, and it read something like this. The top of the heading said, soon. Always very soon. There he sat on a locked psycho ward, day after day, and week after week, that there would be an ounce of hope that was not there from his world before. The young man approaches the doctor and asks, Doctor, when will I go home? The doctor replies, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. Exasperated, Chamoy asks, but if not by next month, doctor, then when? When will I be going home? Now, assures the doctor. If you do not go home by next month, then you will be going home soon, very soon. After hearing this every day for 15 years, it was almost too much for this one man to take. But at last, the straw that finally broke his back was for him to awake in his own home, in his own bedroom, to a 9-to-5 job, only to hear himself and his friends tell himself that this would all be over soon, very soon. And Chamois looked at the shrink and asked him, "What are you going to do when you get out, Doc?" There was a pause, and the next thing you know, Chamois was transferred from the shrink's caseload. Dr. Chamois approaches the psychiatrist in the hallway the next day and asked him, says, "Doc, why did you transfer me from your caseload?" And the doctor responded to Chamois, he said, well, you're sick. And Chamois looked up and said, "Well, what do? You only help the people that are well? What do you shit can all the sick people?" "Well, of course I'm sick. That's why they said I'm here." Anyway, Chamois decided that he wasn't getting a fair shake there. Woodstock was around the corner, and he sort of pulled like a cuckoo's nest, only he didn't smash out the window to get out of the state hospital. He, with his peer groups, convinced them that he would behave if he could go to the beach with everybody and ride the yellow school bus. Only he just couldn't find his way back to the bus. The next thing you know, he's up in Greenwich Village, New York. But that is another chapter of the story, and we'll get into that later. Have a great Chamoisful day.